Hello, my name is Emerson and I'm a tour guide here at the Australian Age of Dinosaurs. Now, I've always been interested in paleontology, interested in fossils, even since I was a kid. Grew up watching dinosaur movies and TV shows, always been interested in wildlife as well. And I've been able to maintain this interest throughout my life, even going on to study these fossils at university, where I did an honours on fossil crocodilians. Today, the fossil that I'm going to be telling you about is from another large reptile. In front of me, we've got the bones of an animal called Megalania, or Varanus priscus. What these bones belong to is a giant goanna, more than 5 meters long, that used to roam the bush of Ice Age Australia 50,000 years ago. What I've got in front of me here is a vertebrae of Megalania, so part of the spine of the animal. Now, if you compared this vertebrae to the vertebrae of a modern day monitor species like a parenti, a yellow spotted monitor, or a lace monitor, this is well over double the size of that. In fact, Megalania was larger than today's largest lizard species, the Komodo dragon, over 2 meters longer than that animal. So this here is a goanna that is as large as a modern day saltwater crocodile. Now, most of the Megalania fossils we find look like this. We only find isolated fragmentary remains of this creature. And because of that, Megalania is still a pretty mysterious animal. We know it was a varanid, so a part of the monitor lizard family, so closely related to Komodo dragons and goannas. We know it was big, more than 5 meters long, but we still don't know a lot about it. Now, if you thought this vertebrae was big, have a look at this one here. What we're looking at, this ball here is the same as this ball on this vertebrae. So we're looking at an animal that is much, much larger than the first Megalania vertebrae I described. Fossils of Megalania were first found by Western scientists along the Condamine River of the Darling Downs region of Queensland. Megalania was described by Richard Owen, a pretty famous Victorian scientist, the same man who first coined the term dinosaur. Now, the idea of a giant goanna like Megalania was pretty interesting to our Victorian Western scientists because they hadn't found out about the Komodo dragon yet. They'd only find out about that 50 years after Megalania was first described. Now, Megalania would have been a bit like a scaled up goanna you would see in Australia today. A big heavy body, robust limbs, razor sharp teeth to rip through flesh like what Komodo dragons do today, as well as claws to dig through the ground or climb trees, and a big strong tail to use in defense like what goannas do today. Now, what would Megalania have eaten? Well, Megalania shared its environment with the megafauna, giant mammals that used to live in Australia during the Ice Age. There were giant short-faced kangaroos, and there was also the Diprotodon, a rhino-sized species of wombat-like marsupial, the largest marsupial to ever live. Now, we actually have a Diprotodon in our collection. We've nicknamed him Big Jim. If Megalania hunted anything like Komodo dragons, they're capable of taking down deer and water buffalo, so Megalania surely would have been able to take down these truly gigantic marsupials we used to have in Australia. Now, what happened to Megalania? Well, the youngest fossils of Megalania that we find are around 50,000 years old. Something else happened in Australia 50,000 years ago. It was the megafauna extinction. So those giant kangaroos and the Diprotodon, they also went extinct around this time. Now, there's a lot of debate as to what actually caused this extinction. 60,000 years ago, humans arrived in Australia. So they were here around the same time. Humans probably saw Megalania walking around Australia. Some people posit that it was humans that drove the megafauna to extinction, but others say that it was climate change. Climate changed too quickly, and these giant animals couldn't keep up. It's one of the biggest mysteries in Australian paleontology, and we're still learning more about it today. Now, there's still so much we need to learn about Megalania. Again, it's a very mysterious animal, and there are many questions left unanswered, and that's one of the reasons why I find it so interesting. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in learning more about Australia's natural history, check out our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or maybe even give us a visit here in Winton, and I hope to see you soon.